Welcome back everyone to another R-Type NRG, and this one is not the arcade, even though it looks remarkably like the arcade and sounds remarkably like the arcade, but it's probably the most accurate home port version out there to date, and it's brought to us on the Japanese Sharp X68000, named after the processor that's embedded in the hardware, of course. Yeah, some fantastic arcade ports came out on the Sharp, they really did. Mainly because it was so closely related to the Capcom CPS-1 board. Okay, but I mean the Final Fight port is practically identical. This is not far off, it is so close. At a blink of an eye you wouldn't be able to tell, you'd think I'd be playing the R-Type's arcade dump on the PlayStation, or MAME, or the original arcade. It's so close. There are a few very, very subtle differences that I've noticed. There probably are a few more if I dig a little bit deeper, and a few Sharp X8000 addicts would probably know more. But as you can see, you've got the fading in the background there, the music is all complete there, the sound effects are superb, graphics is almost pixel perfect to the arcade. There are a few jaggies here and there that I notice are a little bit smoother on the original arcade. And the pitch of the music is slightly different, it's ever so slightly different, but it's barely noticeable. I had the arcade soundtrack and the soundtrack from the Sharp playing back to back earlier, just to do a direct comparison. You can barely tell the difference, but there's a slight pitch change, probably due to the sound capabilities of the Sharp. But I mean, we really are splitting hairs here. It's classic R-Type. And for a home version, probably the best. Well, not probably the best, the best. This, you know, as much as the Spectrum version is great, and the Amstrad remake is great, the PC Engine version is rather top-notch as well, and the Master System version, all very, very good versions of the game. This is, it's practically like having the arcade board in your home. But most people have, when they've got MAME on lots of other things and Hyperspin and all that. Here he is, Dobkeratops again. I seem to find it's quite a bit easier on this. I've played this through a couple of times, and he's almost dead already. So he's going to move forward now. Oh bloody hell! There he goes. So yeah, he's a little bit easier. I found than the arcade. It takes a few less hits. Transitioning from level to level is actually identical, as you can see there. The fade out. Little stop there for the disc load, but still perfect transition into stage 2. Again, looking absolutely bloody marvellous. Lovely parallax scrolling there as well. Smooth as silk. Absolutely smooth. Very nice. This came out in 1989, two years after the original arcade. Oof, they're quick. Wow. And a few other slight differences. The speed of some of the enemies is a little bit quicker, I've noticed, in certain parts. Again, barely noticeable. Like, for instance, there, the eyeballs, the floating tadpole sperm-like eyeballs, they're a little bit on the slow side. I mean, I think they're even faster on the Spectrum and Amstrad. And the original Amstrad version are actually faster. They move faster. And so they're very slow on this. But then you see the mushroom things are really quick, and so are the Baidu monsters coming out of these guts. Extremely quick. Controls are as tight as a drum, you can imagine. Yes, really tight. I suppose the biggest noticeable difference is the standard laser. I mean, it's got this more like a chuck 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 sound effect to it, which doesn't really transpose on the original arcade. It's more of a typical sort of laser whooshy sound in the original arcade. So I'm not really describing these sounds very well, am I? No. And there was just a tad flicker there on the Commando worm. Oh, bloody fucking hell, that was tight. Talk about tight drums. Ooh. Maybe the spacing's a little bit different as well. Maybe. I mean, again, the technique's still the same, so maybe not. But I did notice maybe the spacing is a little bit different. I'm going to move it away there. And that's the standard thing. Yeah. Commando looks pretty standard. The very suspicious eye is moving the same. You might have to dive out of the way. Sometimes versions, on different versions, you have to move out of the way in the second pass of the worm, but we'll see. I think it'll be fine. Ooh, no, that's good. Yeah, dead. No problem. So aside from a very, very brief bit of flicker there on the worm, yeah, again, arcade perfect. Like I was saying though, the slight differences on the slight obvious difference is the sound of the standard laser shot. It's got this more bassy sound to it, like someone, it's almost like someone smacking a box of screws on a metal panel. That's the best thing I can think of. That is a terrible analogy. I don't do analogies very well. Well, I do actually sometimes, but you know, when I'm into R-Type. The big ship is wonderful as always. It's always a famous classic level. That's bloody not destroying. There it is. Yep. I definitely have noticed a little bit of different spacing on this, a little bit of positioning, because it gets well tight. I mean, it normally does, but definitely noticed that on this, on the big ship. But I found it rather easier to beat the big ship this time. Yeah. Well, certainly on practice runs. I'm hoping I'm going to do it this time. I mean, you never know R-Type. You can chuck one at you. But yeah, I mean, if you want to play a home version, which is not the arcade, but oh bloody, I nearly screwed that up. Nearly went smack into the floor there. The brains on the floor. Here we go. Oh, I've fudged that up. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I fudged that up a bit, didn't I? Didn't get it on my nose properly and lost my weapons. Boom. There we go. Let's try that. We'll try and beat the big ship before we close out this NRG. But yeah, just a fantastic version all round. Really good. Pretty much faultless. I mean, it wouldn't be a case of not getting hold of the arcade version, because the arcade version is just easily available now, made and stuff. But you know, if you want a slightly different version of it that is nearly the arcade perfect, yeah, check out the Sharp version. It's pretty snazzy. I'm going to have to get round to putting all versions of R-Type back to back on a brief history of one. I will do that at one point. But yeah, this is an excellent version. Right, let's see if we can kick this guy's ass this time without my ass getting shot off, which it was at the beginning there. Alright, get the jets out of the way, and then you've got the old flame turrets at the back. Move up there to destroy a bit of the bodywork. I do like that when a lot of the home versions do have the fact that you can destroy the bodywork on the big ship. Some versions don't do that. Most versions do though, which is good. Oh, I've lost me bloody force. There it is. Oh, skills, bug skills. Well, this is space, and I do make a habit of destroying the Baidu. Oh yes, indeed. And this guy blowing his bubbles. He must, you know, the pilot, the robotic Baidu pilot of the big ship is a West Ham fan, because he's blowing bubbles. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. Anybody outside of the UK or London or not a football fan probably will not get that gag. And it was supposed to be a gag. I do apologise. Let's sneak through this gap. Oh yes, I'm in prime position now. And fell down and bang! Blam blam blam. You're dead, big ship. Always an enjoyable level, big ship. Level 4 on the other hand is not an enjoyable level, because it's always the level I have the most trouble on out of any of the all 8 levels of R-Type. I have the most trouble on. Again, of course, all 8 levels included. Of course, level 4 is just horrible. Hate it. I love the game, but I just can't stand level 4. But anyway, that is Irem's shoot 'em up. You know, the shoot 'em up for the man with brains or the woman with brains. Let's keep it, you know, non-gender specific. Blah blah blah, and all that political correctness crap. R-Type on the Sharp X68000. Fantastic, near arcade perfect conversion. Oh yes. See you soon. Novabug out.